Last year, the Millennium Tigers carried the Cinderella tag to a 9-3 finish behind the play of 3 outstanding juniors, and they're expecting even bigger things here in 2002. Their opponent tonight, the Coronado Dons, off to a 3-0 start behind a balanced attack and an aggressive defense. These two 4A schools collide tonight on our Cox 9 Game of the Week. Hi again, everybody. With Cedric Bonner, I'm Kevin Ray, and glad you could join us as we come to you from Coronado High School. And a great matchup on tap here tonight, Cedric. I know that Millennium was counting on coming in 3-0, but that's why they play the games with still two teams expecting big things here in 2002.
They definitely are. A lot of experience on these teams, a lot of game breakers on these teams. So this game tonight is going to showcase a lot of talent. See Galloway versus Smith, two exceptional running backs. We're going to miss a chance of seeing Miles tonight. We got good quarterbacks, very good experience. They're going to have to make a lot of plays and help each team gain some respect tonight.
Well, we mentioned Millennium coming off of a great campaign last year under Ron Frank, a new coach this year in Chuck Horn. He has them off and rolling. They've got a nice balanced attack, and of course it is led by, as you mentioned, that great ground game with Galloway and Miles.
Well, they're going to miss Miles tonight, but Galloway, I tell you what, when this guy is called upon to carry the load, he definitely does so. He has the ability to make all the plays, but they're going to have to find a way to keep the pressure off of him.
The one thing about this running game, though, is you can't be misled into thinking that is all that this Millennium Tiger team can do with Galloway, Miles. They've also got a pretty good quarterback in Reagan McCarthy.
Reagan McCarthy makes all the throws, has the long balls down. I tell you what, you don't see a lot of high school throwers making these deep balls. That's the toughest ball to throw in the game. They used to be making long throws all over the field. Has ability to do it from any angle, to throw the ball deep, short, whatever. Accounted for a third of the offense last year, can get it done.
Well, this Don secondary is going to have to be on their toes tonight, because just when you think that you've got the run stop, back goes McCarthy, and he can air it out, as you see there on some of the highlights. The Coronado Dons come in, great year so far, 3-0 under third-year head coach B.J. Pascal. And as we mentioned, they're really looking to build off a 6-5 campaign, and they feel like playing all those underclassmen last year really starting to pay big dividends.
I tell you, experience, there's nothing better than experience. To get guys on the field, making plays, gaining confidence as they're growing and developing, there's nothing better than experience.
Well, one of those underclassmen, he is now the big guy, little but explosive Grady Smith.
I tell you what, this guy right here is the epitome of a little guy in a big man's body, or a big man in a little guy's body. It's tough to bring down. You look at him, you think you're going to pop him and just knock him down, but he has speed, makes plays all over the field, can run through tackles, and you don't think that when you see his size, but he's unbelievable running back.
And on the defensive side of the ball, keeping an eye on Galloway and McCarthy is a pretty good defender in Brett Babcock.
Brett Babcock just is a leader on the defensive side of the ball, runs to the ball hard, and I tell you what, has a lot of heart and has a nose for the football.
Well, we've got a great 4A matchup for you. It is Coronado at 3-0 against the Millennium Tigers, 2-1. It's the Cox 9 Game of the Week coming up next.
A future, a career, a community of colleges, a world of opportunity, a new beginning to the rest of your life. So what do you want to be when you grow up? A nurse? Teacher? Firefighter? Computer technician?
Teams are supposed to take on the world, not parenthood. From Edward L. Anderson Stadium, it is our Cox 9 Game of the Week. Kevin Ray and Cedric Bonner with you. Coronado and Millennium, and we are just about set for action. Hanson's got it teed up. Taylor is back deep, but waving for it is short. And that's where the Tigers will take over out around the 27-yard line. Tate Ford, the defender, back on the short kick, and so the Tigers ready to get things churned up here on the first offensive possession of the night. Here's that starting offense for the Millennium Tigers, coming in 2-1. You see the numbers, almost 400 yards a game, 33 points. A couple of pretty good receivers as well out there in Patterson and Mosby. Galloway and Harden. And the quarterback, Reagan McCarthy, the senior. First play of the night, they'll keep it on the ground. Galloway, senior running back, checks in at 6 feet, 204 pounds. How about that defense for the Coronado Dons? And they have been stingy so far this season, Cedric, only allowing 23 points overall. We talked about this unit coming in. They're going to have their hands full, though, tonight. Second down and a long 8. Galloway gets it again. Takes it off the right side and pops it over the 30 to about the 31-yard line. It'll bring up a third and a long 5.
Well-designed counter play there. Offensive lineman did a nice job getting out in front, leading Galloway around the corner. It's a really nice job by these offensive linemen. You see him break out. It's really well timed. If he follows him outside a little more, has a little vision to get around, he's got the corner.
Andy Quick, the linebacker, making the stop on that one. Kennedy, the tight end, comes across. Sets himself up here on the near side now. Don showing a blitz. Galloway busting off a big hole left side after the 40. Down the far sideline. And he bursts into Don's territory and a great run by Terrell Galloway.
Hey, it's no surprise why these guys are able to rush for as many yards as they do. Their offensive line does a terrific job. They do a nice job. They're well coached. They see a Don's defender run right by the play on the counter. Doesn't have his head up, and there you see the speed. And a nice job by Darren Lyle to get him out of bounds.
22-yard pickup there for Galloway. Got a great seal block by Christian Quintana, the offensive guard.
I think they'll take that average anytime. 3 rushes, 27 yards.
Inside handoff this time to the fullback, Harden.
That's the old keep them honest play. Give it to your fullback. They can't key on Galloway the entire time.
Harden still manages to pick up 2, maybe 2.5.
Good size. 6 foot, 225. I don't think we had anybody on our team in high school that was 225 pounds.
That was our offensive lineman. 2nd and 7. Both wideouts putting it here to the near side. On the play action, he's got some pressure. Trying to come to the near side, but it's going to be picked off. Looked like that ball may have been partially deflected, and it was just enough for Ryan Samovia, the senior corner, to come up and get the interception.
Well, El Habas has to make a play on that ball. You cannot allow that ball to be intercepted. But a real nice job of seeing it. Here you see the pressure coming off the end by Josh King. And he tips the ball, but you got to go up in the air and protect your quarterback. If something like that happens, you got to jump up there, shield the guy, but you can't let him catch it.
So Millennium with a nice drive going has it shut down with the first turnover of the night. The Dons on their first offensive possession. And they get corralled in the backfield. Grady Smith getting caught from behind by big number 56, the linebacker, Brad Pierce, just a junior. Look at this starting offensive unit for the Coronado Dons. Led there by their running back, Grady Smith. Another good one, and Eric Harris up front. McMahon, Yingling, Brandon Flynn, and Caparella. Lewis Marson, just a junior.
Really respectful numbers there.
Had an outstanding year as a sophomore. Keep it on the ground again to Smith. Cuts it back up inside this time and finds a little more room up inside that Tiger defense. Finally brought to the turf by Brian Harbush, the 254-pound junior defensive tackle.
You know, when you think of running backs that are real small in stature and strength-wise can just get it done.
Here's how the rest of that defensive unit stacks up for the Tigers. Along with Harbushka, you have Power, Hunter, Harden, very active defensively, along with the linebackers, Kelly and Pierce.
They're a big group as well.
Split backfield now. Cross in motion is King. He's going to air it out. Ball is deflected and trying to bring it outside to King. Almost appeared as Eric Harris in that flat area as well. Got his hand up, maybe distracting King just enough.
That was a nice job by Kyle Orshak to get out there and make the play. Tell you what, you got to read this play. If you have a little more patience here, you see the entire defense around. He's got the hook route inside if he wants it. But he a little lack of patience there. Gets it out there. Nice job by Orshak to make the play.
Lyle will be back to punt. It is Orshak standing around the 45, awaiting a kick. Got some pressure coming, an end-over-end kick, though, that as Orshik backpedaling and now takes a Tiger bounce. And the punt coverage team comes down to spot it at around the 43-yard line.
A couple heavyweight fighters feeling each other out. But you got to feel that Millennium's going to go back to that running game. They had very, very, very much success doing that. If they can just continue to open those holes and run those counters, they're going to have some success tonight.
Patterson splits out wide here to the near side. McCarthy takes a look at that Don's defense. Blown back in the backfield is Galloway. He's going to get it on the delay and hammers himself right in to the linebacker, Brett Babcock. Quite a collision there, but Galloway picks up about 6 on that carry.
I'll tell you what, that just shows you the kind of strength that Galloway has. They have 8 men up on the line of scrimmage. There's really not enough guys and no one to block the linebacker, and he runs through him and gets another 6 yards after the contact, another 4 or 5 yards.
Galloway gets it again, this time left side. Bursts out of a big hole, lowers his shoulder, and takes it down to the 35 before he's finally brought down. Very powerful running here by Galloway to get things going for the Tigers.
Very impressive. All he needs is a little crease. A nice job by the offensive line again. These guys are well coached. Getting off their blocks, taking good angles, trap blocking. They're doing a great job opening up those holes. No wonder they had 2,000-yard rushers last year.
He sent Samovia tumbling end over end trying to make that tackle. Already with a 22-yard run on the night. Tight formation. Galloway gets it again. And this time doesn't find the running room. Nice job defensively up front by big number 64, Dan Yingling.
So that's the only thing. If you get some D linemen that are going to react to a trap, when your lineman vacates a spot to go trap block, if they follow him down the line of scrimmage, that runs them right into the play. And a nice job there.
Loss of about a half a yard on the carry for Galloway. We'll stick with that double tight formation as Mosby and Patterson split out wide to the far side. Galloway gets it again. Pops it outside. Turns it at the 30. Looking to the 20. Stiff arms the defender Samovia. And finally is knocked out of bounds out around the 9-yard line.
I'll tell you what, this kid just looks a little too mature to be on the field right now. It's almost scary. A nice lead block. Good kick out by Quintana. And I'll tell you, once he turns the corner, this is a mismatch right there. Great stiff arm. This is an ugly play for a DB. You don't want to go back and watch that on film.
Samovia at 155, already giving away quite a bit of weight. And you can just see the sheer strength of Galloway there, and the numbers already impressive just in the first quarter. Across in motion goes Mosby. Inside handoff Hart, the fullback tumbles over his offensive lineman and finally brought down to the turf by Kresmian, the senior defensive lineman.
But keep him honest play. He's got good averages this season, but I tell you what, when he's running those tough yards up in there, it's just to keep him honest, those tailbacks can get loose. We might not see another pass from Millennium tonight.
Mosby across in motion.
Go home.
Galloway, big hole, lowers his shoulder, into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Tigers.
Just a tremendous job of that offensive line. I tell you, anytime you can break through the line of scrimmage and not get touched for 5 yards, that's putting a lot of pressure on those safeties and cornerbacks. And at this level, safeties and cornerbacks are going to be about 150, 160 pounds. Going to get somebody 205, that's a tough job for them to have to come up and tackle.
Extra point is good, and a very impressive drive by the Millennium Tigers, their second possession of the night. And it gets them on the board here first. 7-0.
9 rushes, 95 yards. A good job by the onside guard kicking out. Fullback does a nice job. And I tell you what, when this guy gets his shoulders going forward, it's going to be tough to stop. Good seal blocks on the backside. That offensive line is doing a great job of getting angles and moving their feet to get in front of guys. You don't see that a lot. Like I said, they're well coached.
Well, a pivotal game here for this Millennium team tonight, and Chuck Horn saying so.
This game is huge for us. We consider this game a must-win due to the fact that last year 7-3 would not have gotten us into the playoffs, and we don't want to leave any room for error. We got to give ourselves a little bit of margin. We just want to make sure we take care of business against the better teams in the state, and this is a great matchup for us, and we feel like we're ready to go. We're excited about the ball game, and we appreciate being on Coronado.
On the kick, trying to turn it up to the near sideline. On the return was Josh King. Gets his team pretty good field position out around the 25-yard line. Well, there was a lot of anticipation on everybody's part coming into this game that we would have two unbeaten teams, and perhaps Millennium a little guilty of looking ahead as they got stung last week by Sinawa. But sometimes coaches will look at that as, you know, if you're going to take a loss, take it earlier in the season.
It's better early than late. I tell you, this way they can get their minds back correct on what they're supposed to be doing. They can get right mentally and just focus from here on out. They've already tasted that sting of defeat.
Whistles right at the snap. The illegal procedure called up front there. Chance to see our officiating crew for tonight. Don and Dean Saramelli, and then you've got the linesman Mike Chase. First and 15 after the penalty. Hand off to Smith, trying to take it around the corner. A late flag coming in is looked like Smith may have had that face mask grabbed by one of the defenders.
That's a scary play right there. Full face mask.
5 yards from the end of the run, still first down.
You're going to see the guards pull here. Yeah, right there. You see the guards pull there, and I tell you what, when you don't seal block on the backside, when you vacate the area, those two guys just shoot the gap and get in there, and they can make plays from behind if you're not getting out in front.
King's putting out wide here to the near side. It's Lyle on the far side. Some of that penalty yardage back. Smith, big pull, goes through it at midfield. Coming to the near sideline, fighting for the corner. Finally run down to behind at the 25-yard line. And there is the explosiveness we were talking about at the top of the broadcast with Grady Smith.
Just a nice job by this offensive line on this play. They're going to hit the gap on the left side and seal. I mean, as you see, they're outnumbering on this side. They got two lead blockers, and once you get that alley right there, it's Katie bar the door. And the speed that this guy has, I'm surprised he didn't go all the way. Shows you the kind of speed that the Tigers defender has.
55-yard burst right there. Smith straight up the middle again.
I'm still amazed at how much they run him right up the middle with his size and how he's able to take the punishment. I mean, the guy gets 20, 25 carries a game running hard up the middle.
Showing a lot of faith in your offensive lineman.
Yes, it is. And he's got the new helmet that a lot of players are going to. It covers up the jaw, which is supposed to help for helping concussion situations.
Harris comes out of the backfield in motion. Smith gets the carry, spins off the defender. But just as he looks to the outside, he runs into Josh Head. But well, he met a stone wall up front and Chris Power. But you see right there just the ability of this young man at 160 pounds.
He's going to come right through that gap right there and stick him. And just a great job of keeping the legs and the balance, getting his shoulders down. But he has no help. He's got to get some help from some of these other players. He's a great player, but he can't do it on his own when he's not getting any help up there.
So 3rd and 7 now. 3.5 to play. They'll bring Twins out here to the near side, and King and Lyle wants to go up top. Ball is deflected.
Trying to throw the fade route, and that was taken away by the pressure there. He might have busted a finger. That's a scary play when you're in your throwing motion and somebody comes running in, and you're going to see the pressure shoot in from this angle right here, get right in his face, and jumps up. And that's a scary play as a quarterback. When you're in your throwing motion, you come down, you break a finger, and you're out for a few weeks.
Tate Ford, the junior strong safety, timing that one right. Long field goal attempt here by Hansen. Kick is up, and it is no good, just off to the left on the 37-yard field goal attempt. And so after the 55-yard run by Smith, it looked like the Dons might be able to punch it in, getting into the red zone, but
missed assignment on the pass protection, cost them possibly 6. They weren't able to capitalize.
Well, the Coronado Dons at 3-0 know all too important about this game with their coach, B.J. Pascal.
They have an explosive offense. Obviously, they're 2 running backs, and their quarterback's got a heck of an arm. Also have 2 pretty good receivers. So, you know, our goal is to try to make them work the whole field. Don't give up the big plays. And then on the offensive side of the ball, you know, hold on to the ball. You know, work the field ourselves, pass when we have to, and really just try to keep the ball out of their offensive hands.
Galloway, another big run, picks up almost 10 on that one, and unfortunately, as we heard from the coach of the Dons, they have not been able to stop the big play here in the first quarter.
Their offensive line for Millennium has just done an outstanding job, and I tell you what, I just witnessed the center making calls on the line, and that tells you what kind of responsibilities they have on the field. He's making calls to the other linemen, directing traffic, telling them where they're going, where the blocks are going, and you see these guys, they're all in unison, they're getting to their spots.
Galloway gets it again. The Dons do a nice job, though, of clogging that middle up that time. He does pick up the yard necessary for the first down, so they'll keep the chains moving. Galloway without his running mate Chaz Miles tonight, who is out for, they're hoping, no more than 3 or 4 weeks.
But there's no reason to rush when you can still rack up the yards. I'll tell you what, if you can get both these guys healthy by the playoffs, it's going to be another good run for them.
McCarthy
Let him go.
dropping back, lines up, throwing deep far sideline, and just past the outstretched hands of Nathan Mosby, the senior wideout.
As a quarterback, you like one thing, space between you, and you're going to see this pocket right here. Look at the space that he has to set up and throw this ball. No one around him, and he's able to deliver the football, and that's what you want to see as a quarterback. Space between you and that front 7 coming to get you.
How about split out wide here to the near side on the snap count. Both sides pointing the finger at the other, and we'll see how the officials sort it out.
Prior to the snap, let's start on the offense. 5 yards.
Looked like the center thought he had him offside, so he snapped it a little bit early.
Patterson puts out wide to the far side. It'll bring up 2nd and 15 now. Galloway, the lone back in the backfield. He gets it off the left side. Tries to turn the corner. Little stutter step.
Nice job by Babcock. Run him down. Didn't fall for the fakes. Was able to keep contained. Use the sideline as his ally. You see a player, when you get a chance to make that tackle right there, you've got to make it. But this is a great job by Babcock. He maintains his angle on the runner and is able to get him down for no gain.
Bring up 3rd and 12 now for McCarthy and the Tigers. Patterson comes near side. Ball at the 30-yard line. McCarthy on a quick hitter. Had his man there. Mike Kennedy, the tight end, couldn't hang on, so the Tigers will have to punt it away.
Didn't look it in. You got to look that ball in. That's a little bit of low throw, but Kennedy had him beat on the quick hitter to the tight end. Ball might have gotten tipped at the line of scrimmage as well, the way it came out of his hand.
So the Dons get a hold and should wind up with pretty good field position here. Patterson back to punt. Ball is snapped over his head. Rolls into the end zone, and let's see what Patterson elects to do. Does get it away. Bounces at the 30 and rolls out near the 42-yard line. Boy, an outstanding job by Patterson just to get the football kicked away.
I'll tell you what, this is just a little example of how well these guys are coached and how prepared they are. A situation that doesn't happen very often, but had the entire team decided to go down and cover that kick, after it gets snapped over the head of the punter, the entire team recognized what was going on, and they stayed at the line of scrimmage, which didn't get them an eligible player downfield, and a great job of getting that punt off by Patterson.
Well, the Dons have even better field position than they would have imagined. Smith, another hole that he explodes through, takes it out to the 40, and Josh Head finally wrestles him down.
Look at that helmet. It doesn't even look like he could hold it up. The little guy just runs so hard. It's amazing.
Well, it's just a real joy to watch him run. You see him get the ball in the backfield, then he disappears momentarily, and then it's as if he is shot out of a cannon.
Little Joe Morris from the Giants. Same type of runner.
He picked up 3 on that carry as we're nearing the close of the first quarter. Smith straight into the lights at Edward L. Anderson Stadium for our Cox 9 game of the week. Kevin Ray, Cedric Bonner, our entire Cox 9 crew. The Tigers go into the second quarter leading 7-0, but it's the Dons after that short punt by Millennium with great field position. Smith off the right side fighting for the stick. He's going to be very close as the offensive linemen all stand up pointing ahead for the yardage. Adam McMahon.
You going to call this one, K.R.? Think he's got it?
I think he's got it by about the nose of the football. Of course, I'm over, I think, on the year, too. So.
That's not a good home spot right there. I don't know. I'm going to say he's got it by the last dimple on the football. And we're both wrong. Like I said, not a good spot for a home game.
He was short by a couple of dimples, I think. Bring up 4th and a very short yard. And B.J. Pasquale, the third-year head coach, no hesitation. And like Chuck Horn on the other side, you've got a runner with the capabilities of Smith, like Horn has in Galloway. Pretty easy decision. Split backfield. And the quarterback Marston's just going to keep it.
Well, I figured that would be the play when they weren't in I formation. It's kind of a little bit of a giveaway, but Marston's big enough to get it done in there.
The Dons going 6-5 in 2001, and boy, giving you an indication of what was to come this season, losing to a talented Saguaro team last year in the first round, 38-30.
And they made a lot of strides during the season and improved in every area. Had a lot of young guys playing last year, so it was a great experience for them, and they look to continue that this season and gain better respect throughout the valley.
Empty backfield on 1st and 10. Smith comes across in motion. He gets it on the handoff. They make him run deeper than he wants. And Millennium reading that one all the way, and it was led by Chris Hunter, the defensive end.
That play is one of those plays where if you don't have it, you see him coming in motion this direction, the entire defense is running that way. They know he's the top player on the team. I tell you, you need to come up with something where you let him throw the ball down the field because everyone's coming over with pursuit. Maybe run that play and have him throw it down the field. Probably have some guys wide open.
Loss of 4 on that one. One of the few times that Smith has come away with negative yardage on the night. 2nd 14. Tigers showing blitz. Here they come. Marson just does get rid of it. The receiver making the adjustment on the ball, but Lyle can't come away with it.
Got to make that catch somehow. You got to find that football, put your body in a good enough position to get to it. So he does all he can do. He's going to get pressure from this backside, and he's going to get hit as he throws it. And when you're underneath that pile and you get up and you see the ball fall incomplete, it doesn't make you too happy. Effort was there. You just got to find a way to find it. Good try by Lyle there on the.
Chris Power came blazing in untouched, and Marson was fortunate just to get rid of that football. 3rd and 14 now. On the 37-yard line, on the delay, give to Smith. Pops out of the backfield, rolls off of one defender. Takes it down to the 30. He's finally stopped, so it'll bring up 4th and long.
They're going to go for it here.
Yeah, they've already missed on the 37-yard field goal attempt, and Marson, after conferring with his head coach Pasquale, will call the timeout. A lot of young guys playing, as we mentioned, for this Coronado Dons team, and B.J. Pasquale says no doubt it is paying off big time now.
Well, the kids got a taste of the playoffs, you know, what it was like, and, you know, the work and you got to put off in the off season. Plus, they played in some big games at the end of the season for a young team, and it's only going to help us this year. Brought a lot of kids back with a lot of playing experience, and they were ready to go. Their expectations this year, obviously, were a little bit higher.
Well, that's the thing. As you looked at both of these teams last year, Cedric, you could call them Cinderellas, surprise teams. Millennium probably more so than Coronado because just in their 4th year now. But along with having years like that comes expectations, and as a coach, you're never quite sure how those teams deal with expectations. It's much easier to play kind of loose and free when you're the underdog.
It is, and once you get those expectations, you have to learn how to prepare like you're the best team around. And I think both these teams have come in with that attitude.
So on 4th and 7, Twins onto the far side. Tigers showing blitz. Marson fires to the far side. Penalty flag on the play. He'll have the first down as Darren Lyle makes a nice reception there, but it is going to come back with a holding call.
That's too bad. That's a great throw out there by Marson on the out route. That's one of the toughest throws out here is that timing 10-yard out route. Seems like it's an easy throw. The ball only goes 10 yards, but you have to throw it across the field. Makes it a longer throw. He put it right on the money. But it's not going to have anything to show for it.
When a tough break there for the Dons, who...
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay 4th down.
They rolled the dice and got the play they wanted, but...
That's too bad. Well-designed play, and they were ready for it. The players were ready to execute the play. Just got a little sloppy up front.
And Millennium has not hesitated at all tonight on any of the 3rd and long, and in that occasion, 4th and long, and gambling a little bit and bringing the blitz.
They did. But the good thing about Coronado, they were able to pick it up. They knew it was coming. They were prepared for it and got the playoff. They just had a man hold a little bit.
Lyle back at the 40 to punt. Tate Ford is back. Some pressure coming. Fielded out around the 15 to the 20 and finally brought down after a short return out to the 25-yard line. It was Orshak rather on the return, so the Tigers will take over leading 7-0.
I don't care what level of football you're on. I would not want to be a punt returner, man. Those guys are coming. That ball's just hanging up there. Tough spot to be in.
So on come McCarthy and the Tigers, and they have been quite obvious about what their intent is tonight, and that is to get the ball to number 30 as many times as possible. Galloway already over 100 yards on the evening. Play action this time, dumping it off short, and he's got his man out in the flat as he finds
Michael Taylor.
That's right, Taylor on the reception, just a sophomore.
And a great catch there. Did you see him reach out with his hands?
11-yard pickup there for Taylor.
Just a little out route, and he goes over the shoulder with the catch. Tremendous catch there. Nice job getting up the field. A nice touch pass by McCarthy there, but that's a tough ball to catch. Good job concentrating.
Patterson comes to the near side. McCarthy directing traffic in the backfield. Don's showing blitz as well. Galloway right side, and he is caught right there at the line of scrimmage by Steven Slider. 6'5", 330-pound senior defensive lineman.
He is a big guy. Big guy. Very large.
He clogged up the hole that time and stopped Galloway for a short game, one of the few times tonight. Galloway with 1,036 yards rushing last year. 11 touchdowns from scrimmage, and Babcock getting a little too anxious. Jumping off sides, so it'll be 5 free ones for the Tigers.
On the defense, 5 yards, still second down.
It's kind of a quick whistle. He's trying to gain an advantage on the offensive line, though. They're doing such a great job. He's trying to fake up inside there like he's blitzing. Now you see him doing it again.
Galloway gets it again off the right side. And nice job on back-to-back plays by that Don's defensive front. Led that time by
They've made some good adjustments on that D-line. They're not allowing these offensive linemen to get off and get upfield on the linebackers, and the linebackers are running, making the tackles.
Zimian in up front on that tackle. 3rd and 3 now for the Tigers. Galloway gets it and just does get back to the line of scrimmage, so the Dons stiffening defensively. Decision time here for Chuck Horn and the Tigers.
As I said, Coach Pasquale's defensive line is making adjustments. And they're going to try to run the old counter play again. And as you see, he just slides right through the gap. Slides right through the gap and is able to follow the offensive lineman right to the play, as we talked about earlier. When you're running those counters, you leave open holes.
4th and 3. We'll see if McCarthy just trying to draw him off with a hard snap count. Patterson across in motion. And now we'll get the delay of game, so won't be any second thoughts here as Chuck Horn will send on his punting unit.
Okay, Ray, we're still looking for those clock sponsors?
I believe so.
Need some clock sponsors. Couple play clocks for the end zones. They were going to take that penalty regardless. Try to draw them off sides.
Lyle and King go back to keep the receive. Patterson gets a clean one away this time. Fielded at the 20. Down the far sideline goes King.
That's a dangerous play. You don't want to let that ball drop. You don't want to let it bounce. Josh King needs to come up and make that catch on the fly. You never know which way it's going to bounce. Takes a hard hop over your head and rolls inside the 10-yard line. You see, he needs to move in on the ball and make the catch on the air. You never know where it's going to bounce. It's a funny shape. It's not going to bounce straight up and down every time.
12-yard return for King. They'll spot it out to the 32, and that's where the Dons will take over, trailing 7-0 here. Miles putting out wide here the near side. King comes across in motion. Smith, the ball carrier. Slips past one defender and takes it out over the 35 to around the 37. Finally brought down by Colin Kelly, the senior linebacker.
Needs a little help by Darren Lyle out there. Stay on your block a little bit longer. Don't give up your guy. If he's playing you man-to-man, there's no reason to stay there and chicken fight with him. Run him up the field. He might follow you.
Lyle goes wide to the far side now. Ball marked here on the near side hash. Nice run that time. Surging out of the backfield, Eric Harris.
Tell you what, not a good job there by Brad Harden, who's a much better football player than this. He gets beat on the inside. He has the angle out here, and he's waiting right there. You got to seal down, close down in there, and make the play. You can't allow that guy to get up inside of you. You're right there. There's nothing else coming outside of you. He's a much better football player than that.
Would have brought a 4th down, but instead he picks up 6, and they move the chains. Smith takes it over the 45 to the 47. Quick pickup of 4.
It just seems like the smaller Coronado team is getting some momentum, gaining some strength. And, you know, we talk about every week, conditioning comes into play, and usually the bigger teams tend to fade out late in the half.
Well, these are 2 of the more impressive offensive lines we've seen, just in terms of their blocking schemes and their techniques, Cedric. 2nd and 6. Smith again. Tries to take it straight ahead and runs right into big number 7, Chris Hunter, the junior defensive end. Comes into tonight's game with 2.5 sacks.
So they're playing that 52 defense, 5 down linemen, a couple linebackers in there. So they've got a lot of guys in the box. You can actually bring the strong safety down to the strong side of the field as well. So they've got plenty of guys in there. They should be able to stop that run.
3rd and 3. The Dons have moved the ball. They just haven't been able to get it into the end zone. Marston on the pitch to Smith. Turns it back up inside. He's got enough for the 1st down. They needed 3. He gets 4.
They had him outnumbered to that side, to the left side of the field. That's a good job of recognition by Marston.
First 3rd down conversion of the night for the Coronado Dons.
But you get a sense that they're gaining a little momentum, a little confidence, getting a little stronger right now as this half wears down.
King comes into a wideout position, now across in motion. Pitch to Smith. He gets upended after a short gain by Brad Harden.
So you decide to run to there would be the opposite direction, away from the strong safety, because you're outnumbering on that side. You can motion this guy over, motion the receiver over, and run to the weaker side of the field. And all you do is count heads, you count numbers, and how many guys are on which side. You count, and you run away from the extra defender.
This time they seem Lyle to the far side, along with Somavia. Marston on the dropbacks, got time, and he's got his intended target, Lyle, on the quick slant in. Outstanding throw by Marston, and an even better catch by Lyle.
I'll tell you what, a nice job of going down, securing the ball. And here you see the quick, he's throwing to his left side, so he just backs straight out. It's a good job. And he fires it out there in a low throw, but a great catch by Lyle. He's able to make the catch, come up with it. Gets another 1st down, keeps the drive moving.
Well, the Dons mixing it up a little bit on this drive, is nearing the 2-minute mark here in this 1st half. They trail those 7-0. Marston wants to air it out again. Lobs this one up to the end zone. Lyle is there. Is he in bounds? Yes. Touchdown.
Beautiful throw. I'll tell you what, they came right back to the slant and go. So they faked that 2 route, the little slant route that they just run. Picked up 10 yards on it. They faked it. Didn't have the defender beat, but just a perfect throw and a great catch. Defender's in actually really good position.
Well, Marson really put that where only that Lyle could get it, and if he can't catch it, it goes out of bounds.
Exactly, and I tell you, it's first down play, take a shot, and just a huge catch, a great throw right on the numbers.
Hansen comes on to try and tie this thing up.
It's gone, guys, it's gone!
And he does so. So a Marson to Lyle strike has us tied at 7 with 2:10 remaining here in the first half.
What a nice drive. They were able to mix it up well with the run on the pass. And a great catch. And I'll tell you what, you don't throw this ball any better than this. Here you see the quick 3 steps. And he hangs it up, gives it time, and watch this ball drop down right in the corner. What a great throw right there. Watch it drop right in there. That's pretty right there. You can't, I mean, that's good in the NFL. He got both feet in there. Tremendous throw and catch.
And Marson had been pressured on his first 2 or 3 throws. Got great protection from his offensive line that time.
Let's go, Andrew!
Hansen will tee it up. Taylor is back deep, but short. It's going to be fielded at the 21-yard line by Tate Ford.
Tell you what, if that ball's not, if it's not that high, I don't feel there's a reason to make a fair catch. If you have some room to gain some extra yards are hard to come by right now. Go ahead and get a few extra yards, but they might be under strict rules that if you're not one of the returners, fair catch it. So he's probably doing what he's told to do.
Scoring drive at 68 yards. Got the first 3rd down conversion of the night. And it pays dividends in the form of the 34-yard touchdown strike to Lyle. So back come the Tigers now. Without Chad Miles, Galloway gets it. Gets himself turned north and south and just lowers his shoulders and churns ahead for about 4, and right back up on the line of scrimmage are the Tigers.
Hurry up offense time.
Quick snap count. Pump fake. Fires it outside. He's got his man. Elavash and gets out of bounds, so they'll stop the clock with 1:43 remaining.
That's a scary throw out there. When you pump fake 2-3 times and throw out to the flat, that defender's got to be licking his chops, bearing down and possibly going the other direction. That is, you never throw late out to the sidelines.
Elavash came into the nice game with 2 receptions, 2 touchdowns on the season.
That's a good average.
Here comes Babcock on the blitz. McCarthy gets rid of it. Brings it out to Mosby, who manages to get out of bounds after a pickup of about 9.
He didn't get out of bounds? I thought it looked like he got out of bounds. There's a quick hitter.
Well, the clock is stopped now.
And as you see, they're well coached. He's running straight to the sideline. He's trying to get out of bounds. And that's a judgment call by the official.
Play action. McCarthy's got pressure. Picks up a block. Throws it deep. Nobody there except Lyle, who just misses an interception.
And ended up getting hammered by Mike Kennedy. And I'll tell you what, they're very lucky on that play. Regan McCarthy, a little bad judgment there. Lets one slip. It floats away on him. That could have been disaster.
And the sure-handed Lyle would like to have that one back, but credit Kennedy for continuing through on the play. 3rd and we'll call it 2. 1:19 left to play here in the first half. They'll give it to Galloway. Galloway bursts off the right side, takes it down to the 45, down around the 44-yard line.
Yeah, if they give him any creases up on that offensive line, it is brutal for that secondary and those linebackers. He's just as big as most of their linebackers and everybody back there, so it's tough for those guys to bring him down.
Well, the Dons have slowed him down a little bit this second quarter. He went over the 100-yard mark in the first quarter, but Well, each week the AIA and Cox 9 honor 2 student athletes, one from each team, who pursue victory with honor on a daily basis. Our honorees this week are Kyle Orshak of Millennium High School. Kyle maintains a 4.11 GPA as a member of the National Honor Society. He's also the Millennium President of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes and is a 3-sport letterman in football, baseball, and basketball. Brett Babcock of Coronado High has a 3.9 overall GPA while making the honor roll and principals list. He is a 3-year letterman in both baseball and football, and last year made the second-team all-region football team. So we say congratulations to Kyle and Brett, 2 student athletes who pursue victory with honor. After the timeout, the Tigers back with first and 10. Galloway, big hole right side, stumbles. He's got 11 on the carry, but if he doesn't lose his balance, he's probably got 6.
They're running that 8-man front. There's a lot of holes out there. If they can get off a quick slant route, there's a lot of room to throw that football. They got an 8-man front, 1 free safety deep, 2 corners. Everybody else is inside the box.
And remember, they stopped the clock while they moved the chains. McCarthy, back to throw. Lots of time. Across the middle it goes. Batted off of the shoulder of 2 different defenders. Josh King came across and got a hand on it, and it also looked like Somavia may have partially deflected it, but the pass incompletion stops the clock with 57.2 left.
Reagan's very lucky he didn't get that ball picked off. Tell you what, the corner did a nice job of falling off of coverage. Josh King sat in his containment area. He might have been able to get the ball deep into the corner to the receiver, but tried to force over the middle. He's lucky to get that one back.
Patterson comes wide here to the near side. Orshak on the far side. Galloway gets it. Stays upright and keeps moving forward after a couple of Don defenders missed him in the backfield.
They're going to burn a timeout here. Talk about it. It's 3rd down.
Galloway picked up 3 on that carry, so Chuck Horn will call a timeout. Well, they were Cinderellas a year ago at 9-3. This year, favorites. How does that play with head coach Chuck Horn?
Well, last year was kind of interesting. We were kind of on stealth mode. Nobody had heard of Millennium High School, and we felt like last year's squad put Millennium on the map. This year's squad came in with a big, fat target on our backs, and we just need to rise up and step up to the challenge each and every week, because all of our opponents have been reading the same press clippings that we've been reading as well. And we just need to match our level of play and raise our level of play to get it done each and every week.
Well, they began the season ranked #1 in the eyes of many of the high school football followers across the state of Arizona. And that still could happen. On 3rd and 3. Little gadget play. McCarthy going into the end zone. Taylor back there. Touchdown, Tigers. That is how you draw it up, and that is how you execute it.
I love to see that. That's pretty. Daryl Loud got caught sleeping. Allowed someone to get deeper. You never, if you're a safety, especially in this situation, you never allow anyone deeper than you are. He got caught peeking in the backfield for too long. The speedy Taylor was able to get downfield, and then he saw his speed. Ran past 4 defenders.
Point after is good, and so the Tigers, who saw the Dons tie it up, took over with 1:34 left in the half.
This is just a flea flicker. They start to toss, get the lineman going that way, and flip it back, and there you got extra protector. And look at this throw. Right over the top. Defender doesn't get enough depth. And the young sophomore comes up with a big touchdown catch. Look at that throw, though. Ball's a little wobbly, but it doesn't matter. Ken Stabler never threw a spiral in his life.
And look where he's at today.
Just a sophomore, a lot of speed. Probably the heir apparent to that running back position back there.
So a 14-7 lead is the sophomore Taylor.
What a gutsy call.
Well, outside of the Just the great talent we've seen here with Smith and Galloway, the two quarterbacks, and some of the defensive play. You got to tip your cap to the play calling from both of these coaching staffs.
You definitely do. But in that situation, you got to understand it's 3rd and long. They're probably not going to run the ball. They haven't run the ball on 3rd and long yet.
Short kick fielded out around the 14-yard line by Smith. Turns it up near sideline, looking for a block. He's got one. And just is grabbed from behind at the 35-yard line about the time that Smith was ready to throw it into overdrive. Coming up from behind was Wasim El-Habash.
And it's even more prevalent on kickoffs that you not let the ball bounce around back there. I tell you, these guys are making me nervous. Got to come up and make that catch. Don't let it bounce. Especially on the kickoff returns.
Well, it was Marson to Lyle for a 34-yard strike the last outing. Let's see what the Dons have this lead here. Quick out route to King. Makes the catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock. Picks up about 7.
Very organized, very well coached, both these teams in their hurry-up offense.
Stops the clock with 29.7 left here in the first half. Smith alone back in the backfield. Marson steps up into the pocket. He's going to run. There is a penalty flag. He's got the first down. Well, it looks like we'll have a hold, and they will march this one back. Tough break here for the Dons, losing that kind of yardage with 22.8 remaining.
So that's really the first negative play they've had in almost the entire second quarter. They've been doing a great job of executing.
Have just enough time to get one play off. Marson steps up, throwing it deep, and he throws a rocket past the outstretched hand of Josh King. A beautifully thrown ball, but not enough air under it, and it stops the clock with 1 second remaining. So
he's got to just throw it straight up in the air like a punt. Maybe one of those defenders will tip it up in the air, but you got to give your receiver a chance to catch it. And as a defensive player, you can't let anyone out-leverage you on the field. So last play of the half, you have to maintain your depth, and there's no reason to even be this close to the receivers. They need to back up and get way out of the picture.
And Marson won't even attempt to pass as he'll step back, take a knee, and two teams will head into the locker rooms with the Millennium Tigers holding a 14-7 lead here on our Cox 9 Game of the Week.
High-speed internet is now available valley-wide. Call today and get free installation.
I went Tuesday to Outback Steakhouse. I went Tuesday to Outback Steakhouse.
Well, we welcome you back to our Arizona Department of Health Services halftime report, and kind enough to share a few moments with us is Connie Canerna from Millennium High School, the principal there. And Connie, let's talk first off about this high school. We mentioned Millennium, and there has been so much growth with Arizona high schools. A lot of folks maybe aren't familiar with where the schools is, and give us a little brief history about it.
Okay. Millennium High School is in the West Valley, and actually Millennium has, it's different because it's an old new school. Actually, the campus is 24 years old, and we first housed the freshmen from Agua Fria High School. And 4 years ago, we added our sophomores, juniors, and seniors, and so became Millennium High School. We're actually between Camelback and Indian school way out on about 140th Avenue, so we're west.
Well, it gives you an idea about the growth in this valley. It just keeps expanding. Now, 4 years old, but you've already set a pretty strong precedent with your athletic programs. Last year, West Valley Region champs, and I know you're looking to build on that with not only football, but some of the others.
Definitely. Last year was actually the second year we had seniors at the school, and only the third year we had varsity sports. And in 1 year, we gained 6 region championship banners, so we're pretty proud of all of our teams.
Well, off to a 2-1 start, and a new coach this year with Chuck Horn. Talk about the transition the team has had to make from Ron Frank to Chuck.
Ron Frank was an outstanding individual, and he had a great opportunity to go to Texas and be a defensive coordinator at a very large school there. And so when Mr. McMillan, my athletic director, and I were interviewing for the head coach, we looked at a couple things, and we wanted it to be a smooth transition. Chuck Horn was just natural. He was a coach with the boys last year. They trusted him. The community was behind him, and he represented everything that we believe in at Millennium, so it was a natural, and he has not disappointed us one bit. We are very, very proud of Coach Horn.
Well, I know you're also proud about some of your club work, the community involvement there at Millennium High School.
It's difficult to describe the area around Millennium because, as you said, it's growing, it's developing, but we still have there's a sense of community, and we have such strong activity support on our campus. And one good thing about all of our kids is they're out in the community. They public service projects, community service projects, and the community supports us. We have such a strong parental support base that it's definitely a partnership. It's a good area.
Well, listen, we know there's many big things to come for Millennium High, and you'll be a big part of it. Thanks for joining us here.
Thank you very much. It's been my pleasure.
All right, we've got stats and highlights coming up next as our Arizona Department of Health Services halftime report continues here on our Cox 9 Game of the Week. Well, the Dons come charging back out onto the field, but they trail here at halftime from Edward L. Anderson Stadium on the campus of Coronado High School. 14-7 to the Millennium Tigers. We welcome you back to our Arizona Department of Health Services halftime report. Kevin Ray, Cedric Bonner. And let's get you some first half highlights, and there were plenty. Here.
Tell you, a big drive here started by Millennium. Had a lot of momentum in the first pass of the game. Pressure there by Lyle.
Somavia reading that one beautifully off the deflection.
Not a good job by Ella Boggs. You got to help your quarterback out. Don't let that ball get picked. You see Galloway on a big run, and watch the stiff arm. Oh, get off me. Picks up big yardage. Sets up his touchdown. So Holman, nice job blocking by the O-line, and at that point it looked like it was going to be a runaway. But watch this throw. If you think you like football plays, look at that throw right there. Unbelievable. Right in the coffin corner. Beautiful throw. Nice catch by Lyle. And the reverse flea flicker. You got to have a lot of confidence in your kids to run a play like that in that situation. And they get it done.
And the sophomore, Mikhail Taylor, coming up with a big catch right there. And there's the first half numbers. The Tigers holding a significant lead there overall at 204-154. 109 yards rushing for Galloway in the first quarter, but they limit him to 30 yards on 7 carries in that second quarter, and a lot of it just had to do with the ball control by the Coronado Dons, just keeping the offensive Millennium off of the field.
They did. They did a nice job, Coronado, mixing their play calls up on offense, which enabled them to sustain some drives and take some time off the clock, which, like I say, kept Millennium off the field. And you can keep that potent offense off the field, they can't score.
Well, there you see some of the crowd on hand here tonight for the Dons. Getting some great camera shots as always, courtesy of Diamondback Reynolds. Sean sitting up top with us.
They need a guy with a spacer in between the Go Dons, so they look like good ones. With one extra guy with just nothing on.
Missing the full body paint that we saw last week, though.
Yeah, that Mesa crowd was pretty rowdy.
All right, Mr. Bonner, I'll ask you to put your coaching cap on. What adjustments do you make for both these coaching staffs?
Well, for Millennium, they just have to sustain blocks and continue to do what they did in the first quarter and try to pick that momentum back up. I mean, they had a huge play at the end of the half. Huge play at the end of the half, which gave them a little confidence going in at a 7-point lead. Coronado, on the other hand, defensively has to stop the running game. I mean, there's no doubt, and which is going to put some pressure on their corners and safeties to protect the pass, the deep pass.
Now you get a look at the Millennium drives, and they have all been short, whether successful or not. 2:16, 2:18 rather, being the longest of the night, so they have made quick work of whatever it is they do offensively.
That's arena football time right there. Short drives.
Coronado just a little bit more. Those two there in the middle really helped as much as anything. 3:51, 4:44. They end up getting the touchdown there.
Anytime you can move the sticks and gain first downs, it's a good job by your offense. And when you're trying to keep Millennium's offense off the field, you got to make first downs.
It was a 7-point game here at the half, and pretty much what we expected from these teams and these two coaches, as heralded as these running backs are, and Smith for Coronado and Galloway, and though we haven't seen Miles, expected a well-balanced attack, and that's exactly what we've gotten. So the Dons will get the first opportunity to strike in the second half. A short kick. It'll be fielded nicely, though, out at the 40 by big 72, Chase Lechner. Did a nice job of getting out in front and underneath that one to make the catch.
Football is a field position game, especially on this field. I don't know that you want to really give up that kind of field position, especially when Coronado's offense had gotten it going a little bit in that second quarter and had gotten a rhythm and was able to keep Millennium off the field.
So out come the Dons, trailing 14-7. King will split out wide to the near side. It's Lyle with a touchdown catch in the first half of the far side. Smith, first carry of the half, and nothing but a sea of white there to haul him down after a no gain.
That's real gang tackling right there. I tell you, everybody rallied to the ball, and the defense coordinator's got to love that.
Numbers on Lewis Marson. Again, second full year as a starter for the Dons.
Tell you what, here's the big number right here. The interceptions, 0. But he's got to get his completion ratio up over 50%, which is what he is over the years. He's at 51%.
King comes to the sideline for just a moment. It's Lyle splitting out here to the near side. Somavia comes across in motion. On the pitch to Smith. Turns the corner. And then is bulldog to the turf by Kyle Orsbach, the senior cornerback.
Good job of fighting off the block by Kyle Orsbach. He was being blocked out there by Eric Harris, and he sheds the block. A good seal block by the tight end. And your lead blocker's got to get up in there and make that play. Forces him a little wider. You got to stay on your blocks. Darren Lyle out there, you got to help out your running back. If you stay on that block, he's probably going to go the distance.
Nice tackle there by Orshak to prevent the first down and potential touchdown. It'll bring up 3rd and 2. Somavia split here to the near side. Marson on the hard snap count, straight ahead. Smith the ball carrier. And he's got 4 and across midfield go the Dons.
Hey, that guy is just tough as nails. Runs hard, takes a lot of contact, just straight up in there. And he's just running hard. And you don't think a little guy like that's going to move the pile, but that kid, I'll tell you what, Grady just does a great job of driving his legs and keep working hard.
Nothing but muscle. And on that carry, he joins Galloway in the 100-yard category. Tries to add to it on this carry. He takes quite a pounding on that one, though, as he tried to bend it back up inside. As Brad Pierce, the linebacker, put a tattoo on him.
Tell you, if they want to throw a little quick hitter inside, like a little slant route like they threw earlier, they've definitely got it set up right now. The defensive backs for Millennium are playing outside technique, trying to force everything inside, but they really have no help by safeties or anything in there. So a lot of running room to the inside of the field. As you see up here, you see the leverage right here. They can throw that ball right inside there on a quick slant route.
Lyles put out wide to the far side. Marson wants to go up top. And he's going to be picked off. Tate Ford, the strong safety, on the interception. Gets a return of about 12, and it looked like Marson was hit just as he released the pass. He wanted to go much deeper than the ball actually went.
There's that stat that we talked about just a little bit ago. Good job by Tate Ford getting back in coverage. But I tell you, the timing was off just a little bit on this play. He's sitting back in the pocket, holding the ball, holding the ball, holding the ball. You got to get rid of it. Once you get back there, you got to put it up. Didn't really have anything open down the field, but you see him standing there. They lose contain on the defensive lineman and cost him a pick.
Well, Chris Powers had a couple of shots on him tonight and made that one really count as Galloway on the carry. Rumbles forward for about 4, maybe 5. First turnover of the night, by the way, for the Dons. That is the 5th interception of the season for the Millennium Tigers.
Big Steven Slatter just put the hammer on Brad Harden trying to lead block up in there. Trying to block a 330-pounder.
Galloway again, big hole. Cuts back, sideline at the 40. And fortunately, Lyle gets a little help from the sideline to chase Galloway out of bounds. Otherwise, he might still be rolling to the end zone.
And as they did in that first quarter, they're establishing that run. The offensive line is getting off their blocks, moving upfield, getting guys downfield. And anytime you get a running back with this ability, look at that hole right there. I could run through that. Tremendous hole. And I tell you what, Galloway is a real good running back, explosive.
He'll get it again. Sheds the grasp of one defender, and it takes 4 or 5 more of the Dons to finally twist him backwards, finally coming over defensively.
The one thing you cannot do to bring down a strong big back is wrap with your arms. Not wrap your arm, but try to tackle with your arms. You got to run through the target, wrap up his legs, hit him low, and see what you're hitting. He's just bouncing off tackles. Should have been a loss there on that play.
2nd and 4. Galloway again lowers his shoulders and anticipating a shot from one of the defenders and lost his balance. Otherwise, he would have picked up much more. He's still going to be short of the first down by about a yard.
See if he stays on his feet. Look at the hole out here. But he sees the penetration by the defensive lineman, which he expected a little contact, didn't get it.
Galloway approaching 200 yards on the night, 23 carries, 171 to be exact. Josh Hall, our statistician, doing a great job as always. A timeout being called here by the Millennium Tigers with 3rd and 1, 7:16 left to play here in the 3rd quarter. Well, the Tigers and a lot of people expecting the team to come in here at 3-0. They were knocked off last week by the Sonawa team out of Flagstaff. Perhaps a good learning process here for the club, according to Chuck Horn.
In a positive way, I think that you're never exactly where you think you are. You're never as good as you think you are. You're never as bad as you think you are. You're somewhere generally in between. And what we've learned from this loss is probably going to help us further down the road than actually winning a squeaker and not playing real well in the ballgame. We learned that we can't just show up on Friday nights and expect to win. We have to show up and play hard every single Friday night.
On the play action, McCarthy fires it to the big tight end Kennedy on the 3rd and 1, and he takes it down to around the 12-yard line.
A great call for a play action there. 3rd and short with that power running game. It's 2-down territory, so there's no reason not to make a play action fake. And he hits the tight end coming out of the backfield. A half a second later, that could have been a pick going the other way. Josh King was sitting out there in the flat, just didn't close down on the play fast enough.
So they move the chains, and they are deep in the red zone. Babcock showing blitz. They'll give to Galloway up the right side. Big hole, touchback, and into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Tigers.
And you want to see great execution by an offensive line. You had Brett Babcock running up into the line, showing blitz, gets in there. The lineman doesn't run by him, but turns him away. It's your first threat rule. He's the closest guy to the running back. He's able to turn him, and the hole is huge for Galloway.
Mellinger on to attempt the extra point, but whistles and flags bringing the play to a halt.
Snap, encroachment on the defense, half of distance to the goal, one more and time down.
So they've got to maintain their discipline here. Coronado does.
Mellinger's PAT is good, and it gives the Millennium Tigers a 2-touchdown lead, 21-7, and the Tigers capitalize after the first turnover of the night for the Coronado Dons after the interception.
You're going to see Babcock shoot into this gap right there, and a good job by the O-line. It doesn't phase them. They continue to get on their paths. And I tell you what, Darren Lyle's probably sick of seeing that guy coming through there like that at the goal line.
And we've seen the Dons throughout the night gamble with a lot of run blitzing, and it's paid off on occasion. But, Cedric, as you know, with a runner like Galloway, if you gamble and miss, there's the outcome.
Exactly. Big hole, no one back there. I tell you got to stay in your lanes and protect your lanes. It's tough to gamble. Can't say enough about that offensive line that's pretty much dominated this game. When they've had it together, it's pretty been 7 yards per carry.
Now Waddell, Quintana, Powell, Garcia, Royce Reed, and the tight end Kennedy doing an excellent job. Short kick fielded by Smith. Big hole, he bursts right up the middle. Finally chased down from behind, out at midfield, but not before a 40-plus yard return by Grady Smith. Steve Johnson ran him down from behind.
And that was all on his own. If you see here, there's no blockers. There's 3 on the same side. There's none on the other side. Look at this lane. I'll tell you what, if he could somehow get out here and just make that kicker miss, but pursuit comes from the other side. He never sees it coming. Just a quick hitter. I tell you, he hit that thing so fast, they didn't have time to react to it.
Well, we'll see if Coronado can shake off the turnover and the touchdown. Back to work they go. Dangerous pass from Marson to Lyle. That one too high. Pass incomplete.
That's that slant route that we talked about. That's open just because of leverage that the cornerbacks are giving. They're giving the inside. They're allowing you to run your routes inside. And if you put the ball on the numbers where it's supposed to be, that's a big gainer.
Lyle will come to the sideline now. Somovia checks in as King shuttles out to the far side. Somovia here to the near side. Harrison Smith in the backfield. Play action. Marson looking short. He's got his man there. Terrific catch by Brett Babcock. Not only a top defender, pretty good tight end as he showed right there with his 4th reception on the season.
They run the counter trade. You're going to see him come all the way across from this side to the field. And a pretty good throw. It's a little bit behind. If he leads him out here, he might be able to get upfield for a bigger game, but is able to adjust to the ball in traffic. I'll tell you, that's a tremendous athletic play there by Babcock.
More than enough for the first down. Harris comes out of the backfield in motion. Fires a quick pass out to Somovia. Looking for the blocking across the field, and he'll pick up maybe 4 on the quick hitter.
Coronado's gaining yards here in the passing game, but where's number 33? The guy got here, guy of the ball. Don't abandon the game plan. It's a 2-touchdown game. tell you, it's a lot more dangerous to be throwing the ball around when you have a all-state running back in the backfield. Got to utilize his talents.
Split backfield with Smith and Eric Harris. Silvia across in motion. The pitch to Smith. Gets Smith away. Stays on his feet. Just a marvelous piece of running there by Grady Smith. Should have been stopped twice.
I'll tell you what, this guy just does not shock me. He just continues to play hard. Get up in their fullback lead. There you go. Get your guy. And a good hit put on, but look at the balance he shows. He's able to spin off. This guy is no more than 145, 150 pounds. And just look at the strength and the balance he runs with. It's amazing that he's able to run as hard as he does and take the punishment he does.
Every time the defenders think they get a clean shot on him, they come up empty. Smith, again, eludes one right there at the line of scrimmage. Mark Vanderwarren, the nose guard, had him dead to rights right as he got the football, but Smith again eludes the would-be tackler to pick up 5.
Shifty, shifty, shifty. They list him at 160. There's no way he's 160 pounds.
That's with pads.
Soaking wet.
4:24 left, third quarter. Dons on the move. They trail at 21-7. Smith on the inside move. Is spun down to the turf by the linebacker, Colin Kelly.
And the difference in the running games are right now that Smith has to make a guy miss every time he gets the ball in the backfield. Galloway has these huge holes that he's able to run through, and he's broken a lot of tackles, but Smith is making guys miss in the backfield. He's turning losses into pluses and gaining positive yards when he's really not supposed to be getting anything.
Dons trying to keep their record unblemished, but they need to punch it into the end zone. Eric Harris, the senior running back, gets it this time. It was 3rd and 4, and he picks up about 6.
He's a nice change of pace. Strong, stocky, and just like Smith can hide behind those offensive line, and all of a sudden they appear. A good lead block by Smith. Look at that, giving up 15, 20 pounds at least. I tell you, the good players can do it all when they're called to do it.
Caparell also doing a nice job of busting a player outside, giving her a little room. Ball marked at the 14-yard line. Don's putting a nice drive together here. Smith turns it back up inside, and he will trot easily into the end zone. An impressive drive by the Coronado Dons as they answer the touchdown by the Millennium Tigers.
I think Coach Pasquale has one of my mics in his ear, because no sooner than we talked about getting him the ball, they started in with the running game.
But it goes back to what we were saying earlier about the play calling, Cedric. I think it was almost as if they were trying to send a message to Millennium of one of panic, that they needed to pass and abandon that running game. And he hits 2 or 3 of those passes and suddenly loosens things up for Smith and company up front. Hanson with a PAT, and it's a 7-point game again. The Tigers lead it, but 21-14 now the count with 3:12 remaining here in the third quarter.
It's a nice job by the offensive line, getting on their blocks and giving a little angle. Not a good job by the strong safety there. You got to get up there and make that tackle. Grady Smith just does a nice job following his fullback and is too quick, gets up in the hole, and he showed you a little bit of everything on that drive.
You see a young man like that in Grady Smith, and it brings to mind Adam Archuleta playing for the Chandler Wolves, not recruited by anyone. Same type of player, undersized, didn't weigh a lot.
Mike Falco last year.
Absolutely.
But guys that are able to make plays, small stature, but their hearts are big, and they make a lot of plays.
135 yards on the night for Smith after the 14-yard touchdown run. Hanson. Short kick fielded out around the 12 by Taylor. Taylor with a burst of speed out to the 35. And that is where he'll be brought down at. And Taylor really showing some jets on that return.
I'll tell you, that's the first time we've been able to see the young kid get a chance to run a ball back, and I'll tell you, he was just a step away from splitting that hole and getting back to the other side of the field. Maybe they better kick it short next time.
So now it's the Tigers' turn. See if they can put together a drive. Trying to maintain this 7-point lead as Kennedy, the tight end, shifts across. Galloway gets a big hole left side. Looks for a downfield block. He's got it. Cuts back. Midfield. Still going at the 45, and that's where they push him out.
And it's not, you're not supposed to be able to run over there. They had 3 to block 4. Somebody's not playing assignment football on that side of the field. As you see, they have four defenders over there. Still able to create an angle by the offensive line. A good job blocking out front. Nice job by Patterson out there helping him pick up a few extra yards.
33-yard run puts him over 200 on the night, and a perfect example of what you were mentioning a moment ago. Smith hit the backfield almost consistently. Galloway with those monster holes. He gets it again, this time a shorter gain of about 2, maybe 2.5.
And they're not having as much success with the counter plays as they were earlier. Coronado's defensive front is doing a nice job of slipping in behind the offensive line when they're vacating the area.
Well, this offense operating just as you would expect it to, with 8 returning starters back. And again, without Chaz Miles tonight. That's the scary thought. And Babcock, the linebacker, who's been dancing up around the center all night long, has been caught on a couple of occasions now.
On the defense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Well, in college and in the NFL and Arena League, you can do that, but in high school, you can't do that. It's a dead ball. You're able to get up in there and fake and get back before it snaps, but he breaks the plane. Encroachment.
We were mentioning Miles being absent. He had 1,000 yards last year. In fact, it was the first time in state history that one school produced 3 juniors with 1,000 yards of offense. McCarthy, Galloway, and Miles. Pretty remarkable. McCarthy going up top, pressure. He is crushed as he delivers the pass, but it's a touchdown to Mosby. McCarthy didn't see it. He is still down on the turf, but delivers a perfect strike.
And that's what makes this team so dangerous. He has the ability to throw the long ball. And I don't know what coverage that was. They've been in a cover 3 the entire time. If that's cover 3, that cornerback is responsible for it. He must have been on the play action pass. You cannot allow that young man to run up the sideline by himself.
Mosby with his 3rd touchdown reception of the season. And more impressive than the pass was just the ability of McCarthy just to stand in there. You knew, or he knew rather, that he was going to take a shot as Yingling came in untouched and delivered a lethal blow.
Just enough for the right timing to get it off and put it out there where it needed to.
PAT is no good. Pushes it off to the right, but we asked if the Millennium Tigers would bounce back after giving up the touchdown, and we get the answer right here.
Good play action fake, which drew the corner up. And I don't know what coverage it was. But you see the play action fake, he sticks the ball out there, a nice job. But there you see the free safety, and he throws it. And there you see the corner right there, supposed to be covering that deep area, and he bites on it. And there's this guy going downfield for a touchdown. Cover 3, you got to stay in your 3rd of the field. The free safety's only back there for a breakaway, but you got to play your responsibilities. You can't do somebody else's job.
There you see the quarterback, McCarthy. Glad to see he's all right. He was still on the ground, rolling over a couple of times. Did not see the completion as he goes to Mosby. Mosby with a couple of touchdown receptions last week.
Well, that's going to help his completion percentage out. He was at 47% coming in. That's going to help his numbers out big. The speedster Mosley, excuse me.
Another short kick for Mellinger. This one takes a high bounce, skips off a couple of Don players, and a mad scramble for the football, and I believe the Tigers have it. Yes, they do.
You cannot allow that ball to bounce. We've talked about it all night. And this is actually an onside kick. This is actually an onside kick. He kicks the ball into the turf, and it bounces up in the air. You got to catch it. You can't make a fair catch because it's been kicked off the ground. So that makes it live, but you have to make that play. You can't allow that ball to bounce. You've got to catch that football, and that's what happens when you allow it to bounce. You never know where it's going to go.
And it looks like Josh Head came away with it. Just a well-designed kick. And Galloway gets it. And one of the few times tonight he's been trapped in the backfield with nowhere to go. Yingling makes the stop.
Tate Ford in at quarterback now. So maybe Reagan McCarthy's a little more banged up than we thought.
With just under a minute to play here in the third quarter, the visiting Millennium Tigers trying to deal what could potentially be the knockout shot here. Galloway gets it and carries a couple of defenders with him. Babcock finally wrestles him down, but not before he picks up 3 or 4 on the carry.
Do you allow the young Tate to throw the ball, though, in this situation? We saw last week where you had to bring a young player in for Mesa, and it cost him a couple plays.
Ford is going to keep it this time and spins back around, and nothing but blue jerseys close in on him. Just does get it back to the line of scrimmage, and that'll be the last play of the quarter. But a very productive quarter for the Millennium Tigers as they head into the fourth and final period, leading 27-14. Back here at Edward L. Anderson Stadium on the campus of Coronado High School, Kevin Ray, Cedric Bonner, the Don cheerleading team, and they're trying to do their part, but unfortunately their club is trailing on 4th and long. Tate Ford in at quarterback, guns it to the receiver here on the inside, Patterson. And Tate Ford subbing in for McCarthy, who apparently was dinged up after taking that shot from Yingling, but boy, he just threw a laser out there to Sean Patterson.
Tell you what, it's a great job of being prepared when your number's called to get in the game and make some plays. They run the play action, he's bobbling the ball around, but he hits his back leg, fires that hook route in there. Look at that throw. That's a pretty good throw. Keep your leg off the ground so you can move with it. But that's a pretty good throw coming off the bench in a pressure situation, 4th down conversion.
Got him the first down. Kennedy comes across in motion. Galloway on the carry. Tries to turn the corner, and whipping him out of bounds was the linebacker, Andy Quick.
I think he had a little more room to run up inside on that one. A good job of fanning out by the tackle and the guard, as well as the fullback kicking out. Tried to use his speed to get outside, but couldn't get the corner.
Coronado has to believe that number 30 is going to get it again, and they'll be trying to strip that football. Galloway spins off of one defender and surges into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers.
And there you see the ability to make guys miss, as we talked about Grady Smith doing it for Coronado, and that is a dagger in the heart right there. Huge possession, big mistake on special teams for Coronado, allowing that ball to bounce.
Your head coach Chuck Horn says, let's go over 2, trying to make up for that missed extra point.
And why not? You've got a comfortable lead. Your defense is playing well.
Ford on the rollout, drops it short. El Habash, the intended receiver, can't hang on.
I'll tell you what, Tate Ford throws a pretty nice ball. That was a good throw on the run out to his receiver where only his guy can get it. As we talked about, if you're going to make a throw, you want to put it in a position where only your player can get it. You're going to see collision in the backfield, and he's able to shed an arm tackle. You can't arm tackle. You've got to bring your whole body. Big Steven Slider gets a piece of him in the backfield, but he doesn't wrap up. He tries to block him down. You can't block him down, and there you see him carry defenders. Using that strength, carries defenders on into the end zone.
It's just hard to fathom that another ball carrier in the same mold of Galloway is missing out of this offensive production tonight in Chaz Miles.
Well, I tell you what, it allows him to showcase. It allows Galloway to showcase his skills and get the majority of the carries, and I'm sure he's happy to do that when he gets the opportunity to.
Now, this is our first look at Millennium High School, and must say, coming away very impressed. Another short kick. This one fielded cleanly by Coronado. So they will have good field position, but they have much work in front of them.
I'm impressed with both coaching staff, but I'll tell you what, Millennium's coaching staff has done a terrific job getting their players ready. The game plan, and they're just focused. Coming off a loss, it's awesome to see them come out here and just execute every phase, 2-minute, everything. 4th down conversions, they're doing it all tonight.
So Marson will almost surely be forced to go to the air here as King is bent over backwards by Harden, the linebacker who came from outside, along with
Bohannon,
the quarterback Bohannon.
What a hit. Just a quick, they call this a smoke route. You just throw it out there real fast and you get a big cushion and let your receiver go get it.
Quick pass over on the far side as he hooks up with Lyle this time. Well, that gives you a pretty good indication of what the collisions have been like tonight throughout the evening there in our sounds of the game. Great job by our crew down the sideline as always.
We're going
Bob Pockman and Chris Smitter handling the duties down there tonight.
A lot of quick hitters trying to put it in their receivers' hands, allow them to make a play. And you'll see that on any level when the defensive backs are giving up so much cushion. As you see, they have a 10-yard cushion on the receivers.
Chris might be credited with a couple of tackles tonight if they keep coming his way. Smith running right at him. And is bounced out of bounds, but he's got enough for the first down, so they'll move the chains.
I enjoy watching Grady Smith play. He's fun to watch. I mean, with his size, it's amazing. He gets everything. It's an opportunity to see someone get every ounce of their ability out of him. I mean, his heart is huge. He plays hard.
Well, you can tell just by, watching kids like Grady Smith who just love to play. Not looking for the accolades, not looking for any attention, just go line up and play.
One of those gym rats, as you used to call them.
Marston on the deep drop, goes down the middle, tosses into double coverage as he was trying to go to King, but he was well covered by Head and Bohannon.
You got to have another. I think that was just a 2-man route on that. They had no one else out there. And you can't be so locked in that you can't see the defenders. They've definitely got it covered. You got to come off to a secondary receiver, but as you see here, that receiver's covered. There's nobody open on that play. Good spot for that ball, thrown away deep.
Following the incompletion. On the delay, handoff to Smith. Smith carrying a couple of defenders. And finally, Chris Hunter drags him down.
Good call on the draw there. Exclusive pass. You see him set up like he's going back to throw. The little Statue of Liberty-esque play. A little draw play to Grady Smith. Gets a good gainer on it.
Third and short. Smith gets it again. He's got the first down. Nice line blocking. He'll pick up 4, and they'll spot it at the 31-yard line with 9:43 remaining. But again, they trail here 33-14. The Dons come into this game 3-0. 6-5 last season. Knocked out of the playoffs by Saguaro. And some movement outside. It looked like Josh King, the wide receiver, getting a little antsy, getting into his route.
When you're trying to get the ball off in a hurry, there's no reason to go on 2.
Full start on the offense. 5 yards, still first down.
Your line's just going to have to get it done. You're not going to be able to help them out with the snap count. You got to save as much clock as you can. Time is not their friend right now, so they need to put some things together and get down the field. And I wouldn't say exclusively go to the pass, but they need to mix in some good routes and try to get some big chunks of yardage.
Well, Smith will come out. He'll take a quick shot of water. It's Harris, the lone back in the backfield. Marson has pressure coming. Winds up, throws, has his man. Babcock, the tight end. Snares it at the 10 and takes it forward a couple of more yards to the 8. Boy, second outstanding catch of the night from Babcock.
And a good throw by Marson. I think we might get a late hit on the quarterback.
After the play. Great ball.
29-yard strike from Marson to his tight end, Brett Babcock. He came in with just 3 receptions.
Personal foul, roughing the defense. Tack on foul, half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down, Coronado.
And that's what they need, big chunks right there. And this is a nice job of staying in the pocket. Tackle gives up the corner there. And look at that ball. What a pretty throw and a nice catch, and way to take the hit. Brett Babcock just stays in there, pursuing victory guy with honor, and he's doing it on the field as well as in the classroom. Brett Babcock.
And the Dons say we're not ready to roll over just yet. Pitch to Smith. He gets turned back. Nice play defensively outside by Brad Harden. He shot off of the end along with Tate Ford to force him back inside, and Smith had nowhere to go.
See him get upfield. Harden gets upfield. Can't have penetration in the backfield. You got to get off the ball and knock that defender out. Giving up a lot of size there. Zach Burke
loses about 6, maybe 7 on that play, and that will open the field up seemingly here for Marson to throw it. Going to the corner, he's got King. King leaping high, makes the catch. Touchdown, Coronado.
Just a fade route. This route should not even be possible. You shouldn't be able to catch this ball. You shouldn't even be able to complete this ball. The defensive back is 6 yards off, but the quarterback has confidence in his receiver to go up and make a play. Marson throws it out there. And a nice job of going up with your hands and taking the ball away from the defender.
Hanson on to attempt the extra point. And this one is good. And the Dons with 8:06 remaining get their crowd here at home fired up. They trail by 12, 33-21.
Plenty of time. And there you see the separation between the defenders. You see the separation. The balls shouldn't be completed. Defender's back deep enough. He has separation, but he doesn't play the ball, and the receiver plays the ball. Does a nice job. Josh King does a nice job and a good throw out there.
Orshak, the cornerback on that one, and the right center, it looked like he was just playing the receiver, not the ball. Had he looked up, he could have taken the angle and almost made the interception.
Exactly. He had perfect position on the play, but didn't execute technique properly.
So the Dons strike back. And there is still lots of time left, but one thing they can't allow is Galloway and McCarthy to control the clock. Coming up, we'll see. Is Hansen an onside kick? He does. It splits the legs of a couple of the players. Ball still sporting free on the field. And Millennium somehow hanging on and
what a great kick.
Getting possession, but that went through the leg of like 3 or 4 players.
Thought it was a Three Stooges movie or something. That was just amazing that ball just kept getting through. A good kick, and it gets through, and oh, tell you what, Coronado really needed that break.
Now Jack Cunningham, the junior, had his hands on it, but as you see on special teams, that ball takes so many funny bounces. Ball to 33. Galloway gets it. Busts it off the right side, and he'll pick up 8. Out to near the 41. And this is where the Coronado defense really has to step up, and if they can't create a turnover, you've got to force them into a punting situation.
We can't allow for them to take a lot of time off the clock. Gotta get a 3 and out if they can help it, but gave up a big chunk on that first down.
Elavash out wide near side, but Galloway gets it again. Spins away into the middle. He's got the first down, a pickup of 5. Takes it out to the 46-yard line.
And there you see that nice little hole. He's able to squeak through. He jumps through the hole. And you see the good balance. The whole line comes out. A good kick out. And look at him jump through. And a good spin move there to get some extra yards. But keeping the clock running. And they're going to probably run exclusively inside. Keep that clock rolling.
And again, that offensive line of Waddell, Quintana, Powell, Garcia, and Royce Reed just doing an outstanding job tonight. McCarthy setting things up, gives it to Galloway. Galloway spins away again, but this time spins right into the waiting arms of big number 60, Jordan Garner.
Nice job of shoring up a tackle there by Garner. And that's what you need on first down. You need to keep them to little gain, if none. I can't emphasize the pressure. They need to make stops. Good kick out block, but he gets grabbed and has to spin. And a good job pursuing by Garner.
Clock continues to move, though, nearing the 6-minute mark. Babcock showing blick. Galloway splits away and is upended by Somovia, but not before Galloway rips off another run of about 12 yards.
And again, not touched. You see that offensive line. See the center gets through there clean. Look at that hole. You got to be balanced up when you're blitzing in there. You had a defensive tackle, and look at the tackle by Somovia. Upends the legs, takes him out. That's where you got to hit a back that's that size. He's probably tired of trying to take him head on.
Smart run that time by Galloway. He saw the sideline and may have been able to get the corner, but knew he would have been pushed out of bounds, which would have stopped the clock. And it continues to run now at 5:47. Inside handoff this time. Looked like Harden got the carry on this one.
And this is basically, we're going to line up and run the football against you. What are you going to do about it? And Coronado needs to make some plays. I don't care if you have to stack 9 men at the line of scrimmage. They need to do it. Run blitz gaps, do whatever they have to do to stop the run here. Got to take a few chances right now.
And unfortunately for Coronado, we've seen them burn by taking some of those chances throughout the contest tonight. Millennium with the lead, 33-21. Galloway again. Down the sideline, runs over the defender Lyle, and Lyle just does get enough of him on the shoulder to knock him out down inside the 20-yard line. Prior to that carry, Galloway with 243 yards on the night.
But he gets my first minus of the game for him right there. He gets my first minus. He's been all plus tonight. He gets a minus here. Good job blocking again. And he gets outside. Okay, you've given a reprieve. You get a couple extra yards. Now cut back inside. Try and keep the clock running. He runs out of bounds.
He's at 264 now after that 21-yard burst. Kennedy across in motion. Galloway again. Sidesteps a couple of defenders and slips down after a short gain, this one of around 4.
I'll tell you, Miles has to be licking his chops right now, just wishing he was out there with these holes.
Miles with 1,030 yards last year, 15 rushing touchdowns. He has just 91 yards so far this season, so
haven't seen the field a whole lot. Been injured.
double tight formation. Long snap count and just a little too long according to the back judge.
Prior to the snap, delay game on the offense, 5 yards, still second down.
What are we looking for, K-Roy? Are we looking for some play clock sponsors?
I think you're looking for some play clock sponsors. In 4 minutes, this drive is doing exactly what the Tigers want. Galloway, big hole, lowers his shoulder and runs over the defender, Lyle, again, who just kind of gets in his way. As Galloway just delivering a crushing blow to the shoulder of Lyle.
And that's really not fair to Lyle. You see him get through the line untouched, 205 pounds, gaining a head of steam. Lyle's giving away 15 to 20 pounds here, and he's standing there waiting to receive the blow. It's a tough situation to be in.
And credit Lyle for getting in front of him to make that tackle. He has taken his own shots on the receiving end. Galloway trying to turn the corner and just can't quite get to the pylon.
That's 2 minuses. I'll give him a minus on that play, too, for running out of bounds. He's been pretty much flawless other than that. But I tell you what, that offensive line is just blowing him off the ball, enabling him to run through there. And the first time he's getting contact is back with the safeties and corners.
Well, I know, as a high school running back, you don't have the kind of money to take your offensive line out for steak dinners, but I got to believe there's some Big Macs or double quarter pounders coming for these guys this week.
49-cent burritos or something from Taco Bell, something going on.
Galloway again spins away, spins into the end zone. His 4th rushing touchdown of the night. 39-21 Millennium.
He was so shifty on that one, he ran right out of his shoe. Just a dominant performance by that offensive line.
And there you see Galloway getting a nice congratulatory pat from his head coach, Chuck Horn. Mellinger with the PAT is up, and it is good. And just an awesome display of offensive power tonight by these Millennium Tigers.
Good job. Look at that offensive line. Everyone has a hat on a hat. Once again, arm tackles by Coronado. You see a defensive lineman get in there and get hands on him, but he arm tackles again. And he's big and strong enough to spin off and get in the end zone.
Well, after watching this tonight, I'm still trying to figure out how they were held to 21 points by Sanawa.
As we talked about, probably looking forward to this week on TV against Coronado, big-time opponent.
Little revenge factor as well, we should point out, with Coronado winning last year's contest between these two clubs. Another skipper across the turf, fielded by Smith at the 25. Slips out of the grasp of a couple of would-be tacklers and takes it out to the 40-yard line.
Grady Smith's one of the hardest players I've ever seen. I mean, that kid just plays so hard. And his effort definitely isn't going to be shown by the scoreboard. And Marsh, for that matter as well, he's done a nice job. Marson has done a real nice job in there.
3:14 left to play.
Go home.
Larson fires it outside to King at the 45, and he is grabbed by 1 and 2 Millennium defenders. Orshak and Harden comes over to finish him off.
See, and his effort's great, but you got to understand the situation. You want to save timeouts, stop the clock from running, run out of bounds. You had ample opportunity to do so there. Cost his team a few seconds.
Pressure coming. Marson steps up into the pocket. He'll tuck it and run. And he is going to be grabbed around the shoe tops by the strong safety, Tate Ford.
Thing about stepping up in that pocket there, you can tell guys with a lot of experience, he steps up in that pocket, he's still in a position to throw the football, but elected to immediately tuck it and run. You got to understand the situation and make sure that there's nothing else out there for you before you tuck that ball in that situation.
Well, following tonight's win, the Millennium Tigers will go to 3-1, and here's what lies ahead for Chuck Horn's Tigers. Back home next week, they will host Independence, and then out at Dysart, and what should be a great game there against Towson, with Marcus Thomas already with 2 games of over 400 yards rushing. Agua Fria followed by Buckeye, and then at Mojave. And I will say this right now, Cedric Bonner, with 2:37 remaining, I hope for our sake and for our viewers' sake, this isn't the last time that we get to see either one of these teams, because this has been an entertaining game.
This is one of our best that we've had. It's definitely been back and forth, just a few mistakes mentally, and the ball bouncing the wrong way a couple of times has hurt Coronado.
Now, great players making great plays. Terrific play calling from these two coaching staffs. Marson, inside slant to Lyle. Stays on his feet, avoiding the oncoming tackler, and finally is brought down by Wasim El-Habash. Nice job that time by Lyle. 30-yard pickup for the Dons.
Josh King has got to get downfield and throw some blocks. He stood at the line of scrimmage there and didn't help his receiver mate out.
Movement up front. Chris Power getting a little anxious.
It's the little things that helps you win games.
Encroachment on the defense. 5 yards, still first down.
And if you're not the receiver getting the ball, if the ball's not thrown, you need to hustle upfield and try to help your guys out. Keep a few helmets off of them.
Nearing the 2-minute mark here, the Millennium Tigers leading at 40-21 against the home team and unbeaten Coronado Dons. Marson, heavy pressure coming. He's just going to have to tuck it and run to survive. And El-Habash again with another nice open field tackle.
Then again, he's able to step up with the pressure running by him, but he's stepping up with running in mind, not stepping up with trying to find his receivers and understanding where they are on the field. And that comes with playing the position and being comfortable with what you're doing. A lot of times when you step up in that situation, you're able to make big plays because you break contain and your receivers are running around back there.
Marson comes to the sideline quickly for a play call from head coach B.J. Pasquale. 1:45 remaining. Ball at the 23-yard line of Millennium. Inside handoff, Smith gets it downfield, blocks, stays on his feet, takes it down to the 6 before he is finally hauled down by Rich Bohannon.
I'm going to put Josh King on some blocking drills. Tell you what, if he gets his hat on the defender, that's a touchdown right there.
Marston winding up, pressure coming, stays alive, throws it, caught, penalty flag. It's going to be caught at the 1 by Somavia.
Terrific catch there by Somavia.
Boy, just great presence of mind that time by Marston after it appeared to be going down on the tackle, slipped out of it and looked downfield where he saw Somavia.
And that's the kind of play you can make when things break down. And he needs to do that when he steps up in the pocket as well. Good throw. Looked like his leg just kind of buckled as he caught the ball. Got tangled up with the defender who was reaching in as well. It's a good job of concentration.
Coronado trainers out attending to Somavia. Like they're working on that ankle down there. May have got it rolled up underneath him.
Looked like it just collapsed right underneath him as he stepped to make the catch and stepped through the defender. It looked like it just kind of collapsed on him. And you see him step through and make the catch and gets pulled down. Ooh, and just kind of hyperextends it a little bit.
Yeah, the defender rolled up on top of it.
What a great job of coming back, reaching through with his hands. Ball could have easily been picked off, and he steps right through it and makes the catch.
On the defense.
You know, Somavia has been all over the field tonight, offensively, defensively, made the first interception of the night, creating the first turnover of the game.
See pressure coming through. He's able to break a tackle, regains his composure, fires up the middle.
Yeah, hopefully for the Dons and Somavia, it's nothing more than a hyperextension that will just need a few days of rest. They assist him to the sidelines, but the Dons back at the line of scrimmage, knocking on the door from the 2. Marston, play action, into the middle he goes. Ball is knocked down. The intended receiver was Lyle, and dangerous place as there were lots of hands taking a shot at that pass.
Nice job. The offensive line has to get strong here. They can't allow that penetration. Trying to isolate the slant route, and he's got him beat, but since he has to move with pressure, he can't get it on time. And don't sit there and wait on the ball. Never do that. You got to come run back through your quarterback, meet the ball.
Inside handoff, ball is loose. And Millennium comes away with it. Just a tough break there, as it looked like maybe the little miscommunication on where the handoff was supposed to come from Marston to Smith.
Something that they've done thousands of times in practice and in game situations. But when you don't concentrate, or if you don't get a snap properly and get it up quick enough, didn't look like Smith was prepared for the ball. Maybe he had a different play in mind. A little miscommunication, which cost him.
So the Tigers take over after the turnover. And Reagan McCarthy directing his offensive line and everybody to tighten up the gaps, and goes into the protection mode with under a minute to play, and the Millennium Tigers will have headed across town and bounced back nicely without one of their top weapons in Chaz Miles, and following the loss last week to Sanawa.
It's the greatest formation in football right here. Victory formation.
Step to the line once more. Take one final snap. And this one is officially in the books. So the Coronado Dons fall from the ranks of the unbeaten. After Millennium come to Edward L. Anderson Stadium and hand them a 4-20 loss. An impressive game for the Millennium Tigers. With this win here tonight, we'll step aside for a timeout and be back to wrap things up after this. Well, all's quiet now at Edward L. Anderson Stadium as the Millennium Tigers come out with an impressive victory here tonight, 40-21. Kevin Ray, Cedric Bonner back here with our Cox 9 crew, and just an outstanding performance really in a lot of ways on both teams' part, but the running of that young man right there with the help of a great push from his offensive line proving to be the difference. Galloway coming away with monster numbers, 290 rushing yards, 4 touchdowns.
Unstoppable. I tell you what, that offensive line was allowing him to break through the line of scrimmage free, not being touched for 5-6 yards. And a guy that fast and that strong and with that size, I tell you what, it's tough on those safeties and defensive backs to make the stops.
As big as those numbers were, the game's still very much in question until this big special teams play, which turned out to be our Dodge play of the game.
Millennium just scored, and they'd been kicking off all kind of different ways the entire night, and they come up and they run the old onside kick. Kicker kicked it into the ground and bounced it straight up. No one came up to receive the ball off the ground, and there's the funny bounce we talked about earlier. Millennium receives it, recovers it, and never looked back from that point.
They would score just a few plays later, extending that lead to 19. And that is ultimately what the lead would be as they come away with a win, and they go to 3-1, and that is the same mark for the Coronado Dons. But really, again, a great performance for the Coronado Dons. Marson standing in impressively at times tonight, taking some big-time shots, delivering some big-time passes as well. Impressive plays on both defensive sides. Just great play all the way around and great play calling from both these coaching staffs.
And I tell you what, they're going to learn from this experience. Coronado is a good ball club, just a few mental errors, and they're right in this ball game. Grady Smith with another big game, 166 yards rushing. And like we talked about, somebody that size toting the ball over 25 times, it's amazing. They've got a lot of things to look forward to and a lot of positives to get off of this film.
Well, we will head north Scottsdale next week. It'll be a battle of the Huskies on our Cox 9 Game of the Week, and it should be a dandy. John Wren's Hamilton Huskies, our second chance to see them. They'll head over to Scottsdale to take on the Huskies of Horizon. Also, our first look at new coach Keith Brown since taking over the Horizon program for retired coach Doug Schaefer, and of course another great runner to be spotlighted next week, showcased. We've seen him before, Termel McGill, so it should be a great one. Tune in next Thursday night, 7 o'clock, live high school football every Thursday right here on Cox 9, your home for high school sports. The Millennium Tigers won it tonight, 3-1. The Dons slipped to 3-1. We thank you for joining us. For Josh Hall, our statistician, Sarah Simpson, our booth assistant, and our entire Cox 9 crew. For Cedric Bonner, I'm Kevin Ray. We'll see you next Thursday night at Horizon.